Hey everyone, so welcome to the new video, and in this we're going to be learning how to make a complete website, how to design a complete website, along with learning new CSS properties on the go. So as you can see, I've already designed a website on a fictional company called AdventureX. That is actually an adventure sports company. And you can see all these CSS effects that have been added, these certain animations, especially on this one. I like this animation a lot, and we've used a cool theme of black and orange red, and you can see there are some package boxes, and the background also, this effect you can see on the background. So we'll be learning all these, starting with the first part of the website, that is to design this header in today's video. So let's get started. Okay, so let us go live from here for this one, and great. So starting with the first tag, that is we mentioned in the previous videos, the doc type HTML, to tell the browser that this is an HTML5 document. And then we have the HTML open and close tags along with the header and body tags inside it, body. So as we know, the header is used for some properties of this document, and also some referencing to other files and some fonts and everything. So right now we're just gonna add a title over here, and the title will be Adventure X, and this should be added once we refresh. Great. So our title is in its place, and now we have the body. So in the body, I'm gonna show you a new tag called header. So header is basically, yeah, what we did last time, we did in the previous video. So let me tell you, header is one of the top part of the website. And before we didn't used to have the tag for header, but HTML5 introduced us to this new tag. And in the header, we'll also have a nav tag in which we'll be defining our navigation bar. That is these things. Okay, so the first thing we need to do now after the header has been added is to create a background image for header. And all the styling, for all the styling, we're going to create a new file over here, style.css. Now, let me go back over here to link it. And if you remember, this is how we link, then add the path of the file, and you also add the type of file this is, that is style sheet. Perfect. So now our file has been linked, and over here I want every child over here to have a margin of 0 and a padding of 0, as well as the box sizing should be border box, so that whenever we make some changes in the height or the margin or the padding of an element, it does not affect the height and the width. Okay, now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set a color for the body, and the body color we're going to set it as black. So let me set this color as, sorry, hash 000. Perfect. Okay, so now this is black, and because we don't have any content over here, when we add something, then only it's gonna show up. Now I'm just gonna set a default font family for the complete document as Helvetica. Fonts play a very important role in showing the look or in the design of the website. Okay, now let's add our header tag, because there's only one header on every website or web page. So we don't need to give it a separate class, and we can straight away use the header tag. So our header has a background image starting with a linear gradient. As you see in this also, there's the dark effect over here. So we're gonna use the same one over here also, and it's RGBA 000 black and with a transparency. Okay, and we have to give two colors, and again 0.7. Okay, and then we have to specify the path of the image, that is images dash. Okay, I've already added some images in the image folder that you can see over here. So I'll be providing the link to these images as well, and if you want to refer to some other images, you can get them at Unsplash. Okay, so images dash header, and we also need to provide it a height to make it visible right now, that is 100 VH. And let me show you what happens. Now the image has been added, but it's not exactly how we want it to be, right? We cannot see the complete image right now. So for that, what you would do is background size cover. Okay, great. Now it's added with the linear gradient and everything's in its place. Perfect. Now let's work on the navigation bar. So in navigation bar, we are basically gonna make a list, an unordered list. An unordered list is something that comes with bullets, and if you write an ordered list, it would show 1, 2, 3, 4 by its side. So in a unordered list, which is represented by the UL tag, we're gonna add certain list items, and our list items are gonna be some links. For now, they will be default. Okay, now what do we write in the link? Packages, gallery, book now, and contact us. So packages, and I'll just copy this whole thing and paste it. And packages, then we have gallery, then we have book now, and contact us. Let me show you how this looks like. So this is how this looks like right now, but now we're gonna add some styling to it to make it look more attractive. So for that, what I'll do is first I'll use the nav tag and I'll set its display to flex. So that won't change this, of course, because this is actually in a UL that is inside the nav tag. So as you can see over here, we have an unordered list inside the nav tag. So for that, to access that tag, I will write nav UL. This refers to the unordered list that is present inside the nav tag. So in the UL, let's add display flex. Yes. And why I made this display flex is to shift the complete list towards the end. So align, no, sorry, justify content, flex, end. Perfect. And now we have a list type. We don't want anything, list style. So for now, there will be no dots or no numbers, nothing. Perfect. Now I'm gonna add a height of 50 px to the nav and a background color of orange red and set some transparency to it. Perfect. And in the UL, we're gonna add another tag over here, nav UL, or I can just later we give it a class. So class nav list. So over here to access the class nav list, and then the a tag inside the nav list and the link and this has two states because this is an anchor tag. Nav list a visited. The first thing we're gonna do is we are gonna set the color to white. Okay, what we can actually do is we can set the color of the every text, all the text on this by default to white. Okay, then I'm gonna change the path. So color white. Okay, now this should be working. Perfect. Just have to refresh it once. So I think no, because this only affects the direct children of the body. So we have to specify it separately over here. So now their colors are white. Great. Now we need to remove the underline from there. So text decoration would be none. Perfect. Now I'm gonna add a margin to its top and bottom and left and right. So top and bottom would be 10px and 30px. So if you add two tags over here after adding the margin, the first one refers to the top and bottom and the next one refers to the left and right. Over here you can see MDN reference. If you click over here, you'll be taken to a whole documentation of CSS and you can see what various properties do everywhere. So you can see this is the margin. If we just write one value, it applies to all four sides. And if we write two values, it applies to vertical as well as horizontal. Three values, top, horizontal, bottom. And four would be all the four directions, that is starting from top, right, bottom, left. So you go in a clockwise direction. Okay, so you can refer to MDN docs anytime you need help. And right now they look like this. Okay, now what we're gonna do to center them, I can just add something over here called align items center. Great. And font size would be around 30 is too much, 20px. Okay, and font size is 20px. Now we need that border effect, right? Whenever I hover over it, there should be that underline that comes over there. So that is going to be implemented by border bottom. So before we hover over it, we need a border only at the bottom for, let us say, 5px, no, 2px, solid, transparent. Right now no color, but as and when we hover over the element, it will be this a. Now hover and navlist a active. So whenever we hover, it should give me a border bottom of 2px again, solid and white. So you can see it appear. But we need to add an animated effect, right? Because this looks like straight away coming out of the blue. So it should take some time to appear. So there's this property called transition and we have to specify which transition. So we can just specify all and 0.2 seconds. Okay, it's saved now. Yeah. And you can just add a padding bottom of 5px. Perfect. So this completes our nav. And you can see a small area over here in the background, right? That's black. So what we can do is we can add a margin to the complete document from here, saying not over here, in the body, margin 10px, and the body background color should be black. I'm sorry. 10 is this, I think around 30. Perfect. Great. So now we are gonna work on the heading. Okay, and this subheading and the button, the animated button. So for that, let's go back to our HTML document, and you can use some features like you see the split. So just close it from here, then I can access both my files simultaneously together. These are some features of the VS Code. Okay, now after the nav, I also have to do one more thing. Okay, I'll just show you as I do it. Now I'll be adding a header box. So again, let me show you another feature. If you want to create a div with a class called header box, so you can just write div dot header or heading box, and this is emit is an extension that should be enabled. I think it's there by default, and after you've written this, just press the tab and it will automatically form this div. Okay, so in this we have a heading h1 that says adventure x, and okay, one more thing we forgot to do. I want all these to be capital. So for that, what you can do is over here, text transform uppercase. Perfect. So as you can see, our heading is coming over here, but we want to center it. So for that, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to the heading box, and I'm gonna set its position to absolute. For that, when I set any element's position to absolute, I must also see that its parent element's position should be relative. Perfect. Now to center this, I just need to add two things over here, or more than that. You're gonna see top 50% and left 50%. But it's again not exactly at the center, it's slightly towards the right. That's because our top 50 and left 50 refer to this point, exactly where my cursor is, over here. So if there was a border over here, if you border 2px solid orange red. So this point is where the top 50 and left 50 refer to, and so we have to transform it a bit and translate minus 50% minus 50%. Exactly. So now it moves. Now it does not work according to the percentage. The percentage doesn't refer to the body's size, but rather the its own size. Okay, so now you can see there's the school font over here. So let's just try adding a new font from the web. So I can straight away go to Google Fonts, and over here the font I used in that website's heading was this. So whenever you need to import the font to your file, you just click on it, and you'll find this option, select the style. After this, go to embed. Now if I use this, it will be added directly in the HTML document, and if I use this, I can straight away use it in the CSS. You can use any of them. And right now we're going to work with CSS itself. So I'll just copy everything that is between the style tags, go to the document and paste it. And to use it, suppose we can remove this border now. Okay, now I'll just give it a class of main heading, and I'll set the display property of the heading box to be flex, and flex direction would be column, and align item center, justify content center. Great. So now this dot main heading, and the thing we're going to do is font family. Okay, so here, so font family, to use that, yeah, let me just show you again what you need to do. Google fonts, I will just have directly written it over there. So after you copied it, right, then you'll find this statement over here as well. So this is the rule. That is the basic rules which we are using to specify for all the fonts. So just you can just directly write it over here itself. So now it should appear exactly. Now we have that font in our file. Let's change the size of the heading now. Font size would be around 70 px, a bit more bigger than that. How's 90? Yeah, this looks good. And let's add some letter spacing to it of around 10 px. And let us also reduce the boldness. Okay, so this is our title over here, and now we need the subheading. So for subheading, I'm just gonna write a paragraph over here, and the class would be, again we can use the emit, sp dot subheading, and you can see it's conquer your fears. So just go over here, conquer your fears. And for the subheading, again, it should appear over here. Yeah, well, let's style the subheading. Dot subheading, and font. First of all, let's make it all capital. Text transform uppercase, and let's add a font weight to it. Okay, and I need to add the font size to be around 16 px. Okay, and a margin top to bring it a bit lower, around 40 px. That is too much. 20. Yeah, I guess this will do. And now all we need to do is, okay, we need to add some letter spacing as well. Letter spacing, 10 px. Perfect. Now all we need to do is add our button. So the button is over here, you can see it, right? And let's get started on the button. So for button, we won't be using the button but the anchor tag. So we have a link whenever we click on the button, and we have that hover effect. Class main button, and the text we wanted to say is jump in. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. So this is how it looks when you add it. And now to style it, let us go back to CSS dot main button, and let me write text transform uppercase, and then add okay, yeah, because it's a link, again I'll need to state these things, link, and because we are using anchor tag visited, I want the color to be white for the text. I don't need any underline over there. Text decoration none, and let's add a margin top of around 60 px or 80 px. Alright, this will do. And I want a background color of black with a transparency of, let us say, yeah, around this. And I need it to have a padding of 10 px, 20 px. Let us say 30. Okay, 20. So I can just straight away give 20 over here. Okay, and I need it to have a border of 2 px solid, 5 px solid, transparent. And now I'm gonna add the other two states, that is main button hover and main button active. So the first thing when we hover is we want the border to appear, and I'm sorry, this should be, yeah, okay, complete border, yes. So 5 px solid and orange red, yeah. So you see there's also the circular effect over here, so that would be obtained by giving it a border radius over here, border radius of let's say 20%. Let's add 30. So it's all hit and trial. Okay, you need to just search for the correct value and keep trying it. And now we have a background color also that is a bit darker black. So the transparency would be reduced and we'll make it a bit more opaque. Let's say around 0.7. Okay. Okay. And now all we need to do is add the transition. So transition all and 0.2 seconds. Let's make it a bit more black. I mean a bit less transparent. Perfect. So this is our header, and in the next video we'll learn to design the next section, that is this, with all these effects over here, the images coming out and the light effect. So stay tuned for the next video, and you can watch it in the playlist, I mean, right now. And okay, I hope you learned in this, and I hope you were able to recall the properties which I explained you in the last video. Thank you.